Oh, don't want to be watching the opening cutscene. So, today we are playing Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. I've been saving this for a special occasion because I only just recently gotten to the quest that allows you to start this expansion. So it's been a long, bumpy ride. Today with me I have Happy Striker, also known as Striker. And I have Flutterdark, who is also... yeah. So these two are writers for Final Fantasy XIV in a nutshell, so they'll be joining in today as I jump into this headfirst for the first time ever. So, this is my character. He is appropriately called RAB-Toons. As you can see, I've gone for the antiquated abyss. Can you not? Ah, does it not let you view this stuff? World is currently full. Ah. Well, I shouldn't. Oh well, I shouldn't have logged out. There we go. Can you see the loading screen at least?
I have the stream open and I don't see.
Possible.
Give it a minute. The stream is a bit behind from what we are hearing. Yeah, loading screen is there.
Ah.
But yeah, I think I was a bit quiet on the... Never mind, the audio is also fixed. Like
Cool.
my audio. I thought I was quiet, but I'm not.
Okay, so apologies for that little cock up there, guys. So yeah, this is Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. I won't do the instructions again because... Actually, no, I will, because I think that audio is borked as well. So anyway, today with me I have Happy Striker, also known as Striker.
Hey everybody.
And Flutterdark.
Hello.
So these are the Final Fantasy XIV in a nutshell writing team. They'll be joining me today as I dive into Shadowbringers. So as you can see, this is my character, RAB-Toons, appropriately named, wearing the antiquated abyss armor because I think it looks cool and it's appropriate for Shadowbringers as we become the Warrior of Darkness. So without further ado, let's talk to Tataru. That was lame. What data center are you on? I'm on... I don't know what data center it is, but I'm in Adamantois.
It's the Ether. It's the Ether world server.
Oh, cutscene. Good news, Rab. We've had a stroke of luck in our search for that beacon. Apparently our colleagues have stumbled across a hidden path leading down into the hollows around the base of the Crystal Tower. Ooh. I was actually expecting this first quest to be voice acted. Oh well. A path I doubt we'd ever have found had the Ironworks and the Suns not added their numbers to the party. Thanks to them, we have eager eyes aplenty down there, checking under rocks and peering into every nook and cranny. Still, it sounds like there's a lot of ground to cover. Then we'd better go and give them a hand. Sounds like tedious work, but not as tedious waiting around, I suppose. Yeah, that sounds more like me. Exactly, so I was thinking we should go and lend a hand. The sooner we find the speaker, the sooner you can travel to wherever it is this mysterious voice is coming from. Reading? No one said anything about reading. Yeah, a lot of these cutscenes are unfortunately not voiced. And the sooner we can work out how to help our friends. We have to find a way to wake them up and before the Empire comes calling again, meaning we have no time to lose. And I give a hearty nod as I do in every fucking cutscene. There's a boat in North Silvertier waiting to ferry people to the site, so let's be on our way. Oh, so that's what the quest accepted jingle sounds like in this expansion.
Also, I like how the choices are now at the bottom and how they look now.
Oh yeah,
They look
that is
like
much
it's
better.
all the quests.
Yes, I
Not
much
just the
prefer that.
Shadowbringer quests, but all of them.
Okay, so wrong way. When it comes to the voice cutscene, should I let the entire audio play out, or should I skip it as I read? Because I don't know. I feel like people would want to see the whole thing. I mean, that's up to people watching, I guess. I'm doing this for you guys just as much as I'm playing it for myself.
Honestly, I would let it play. Just react as you want.
Yeah. Rab, I need a shout out. I only do shout outs for close friends and channels I like, so if, you know, it's not something I just do willy nilly, I'm afraid. I'm not a whore.
I assume that since you played a while after Shadowbringers came out, that you already sorted your hotbars for the skills that were lost.
Yes, I did that a long time ago.
Oh, good. Because
Okay.
that was the first thing I did, and it took like the entire day.
Okay, so we're on our way to the Crystal Tower. I didn't actually pay attention to that cutscene. There we go.
Camp Silvertier is a thing, they said.
The other way.
We'll be heading towards where you access the dungeon for Midgard's Armor.
So many uncompleted side quests. Yeah, I'm very much not a side quest guy. Mainly main story quests and
Wait.
I don't know. Yeah, I leave a lot of those side quests.
Honestly, I get it. Most of them that I do, I just do so that they leave my map.
What mount is that? I think it's called the Griffin. I kind of don't pay attention to any of the mounts I have. I have this little hotbar here that says Flying Mount Roulette, because I don't really care what I'm sort of riding at the time. I just want to get where I want to get, like, as fast as possible. So I just use that to pick one at random because I get sick of the same music over and over. So I had this one mount which played the Ravana second phase theme, and I loved it for a while, but it eventually made me sick of the Ravana theme, which is a shame because I really fucking love the Ravana second phase theme. Hildebrand, did you miss that? No, if you look at my journal, I do have that one partway through at the moment, so I'm about halfway through the latest one. Heading to the survey site, sir. It's on the eastern shore of the lake, and the swiftest way to get there is by boat. Hell yeah! Ooh, new music. Well, it sounds like new music.
It is.
Ah, it's the gang, Hoary Boulder. The ironworks is out in force. Master Garland's orders. The Archons need our help. Next to that, even matters of the heart don't see the matter.
I've detected no slavering beast in the vicinity. My sister accepted.
The air here weighs heavily upon me. 'Tis little wonder, I suppose, when we're standing in the shadow of such an imposing structure. That towering edifice is the outer wall of the Crystal Tower's foundation, the labyrinth of the ancients, to be precise. Hey Rab, do you listen to the soundtrack? I do. That was an amazing Kermit impression. Thank you, Elysium Dragon. Oh.
Oh,
So this may be a voice cutscene. I don't know. Oh, I think it might be. Hey, that's a Realm Reborn soundtrack. That was a good Reese Mix impression. Oh, if only people knew.
How many people there are?
I know.
Should we get to it then?
I'm pretty popular.
Seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We found bugger all without you.
I forgot how bad his voice is.
Aye, aye. Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse called it the chief of some other business. So we'll be working twice as hard to make up.
I swear the last time this guy spoke he didn't have an Irish accent, but okay.
Twice as hard even.
I think the last one that we
Thank
spoke
you,
was
both
back
of you. I'm sure we'll find out
very
Yes, it was very different. Death to Tataru. Oh, that's not nice, Edgar. I mean, all Lalafell are scum. Don't at me.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
You're the same size as him.
We couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, I'll be fine. This receptionist is not afraid to get up.
Ishtola is currently asleep. Potato race. Ooh, I found something.
Sorry, I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so... What's that you got there?
I don't know, Biggs.
Now that looks promising.
Does it?
Isn't that the Ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
Oh. It's not very sinister sounding.
What's happening?
Lally ho. Rab, what race are you?
Stay with me.
Try and guess.
Focus on my voice. Let expanse contract. Eon become infinite.
Wait, this must be it. The device. This is supposed to be it.
Wide the gates that we may pass.
Hello, James.
Safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
Look carefully and you'll see horse chiffon. Really? Where? Unless you're trolling me. Yep, it's one of those, Azazel. This doesn't look like Resident Evil. No, it's Final Fantasy XIV. Okay, I'm looking carefully. Oh. There he is. Aww. That was Fordola's voice.
We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this.
Ooh, who's that? No way that Minfilia.
Your time has not yet come.
Yours has though. Thought this was the original Final Fantasy. No. Kind of looks like a Twilight Hyrule.
Kind
Hey.
of looks like Kingdom Hearts Levels of Darkness.
Hey, it's the Warrior of Darkness. Twilight Princess was lame. Yeah, it kind of was. I love this game and its cutscenes. Me too. Is this a single player game? Yes and no.
From endless dreams I awake. Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Thoughts on the Rocky films? Never seen them. I just know all the memes and references. It's multiplayer, but you have to share the controllers and play as the same character. You now have no way of going back to the other half of the game. What? I hope you're joking.
They are.
They are. The moment you find an Aetheryte, you can do it again.
Ah, that's good. Hey, I know you from the beginning of A Realm Reborn.
Rare to meet someone out here who's not a peddler himself. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
You uncultured swine, Raz. I know. I'm very much a millennial, I'm afraid. But it's bright as day.
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me granddad, God rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time.
This guy is like the most Irish person I've ever heard.
And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk, you easy clown.
Blue screen on my end.
Bleeding years.
Okay, that's not for everyone.
Yeah, I can still see the stream.
Does the stream actually say it's Final Fantasy XIV, by the way?
You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you
Like in the description, title, etc.
Yes.
Yes.
Good, good.
got to you, did they? Beggar. That explains.
Yeah, it says, it doesn't say Shadowbringers, but it just but it does say Prophet.
Okay, that's good. Someone was saying about Resident Evil, and I know that's the last game I was streaming, like when I did this ages ago.
To travel and wares to sell. But you best hurry along to the town nearby. Just head east through the trees and aim for the shining town. You'll find the place soon enough. It's the biggest settlement the miles around.
For people who don't play Final Fantasy XIV, Marms is a measurement of distance.
You in the Crystarium.
I think miles was the equivalent to miles. I forgot which one is bigger. Oh yeah, that's the one.
Well, people were right. I am liking the music so far.
The Canadian spire. Its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy. There, it will all begin anew. Between dark and light. The pure and the corrupt. The one true struggle.
Shadowbringers. I love darkness. Yep, everyone's been telling me I will love Shadowbringers, and hopefully I'm going to be proven right in that instance. This kind of sounds like the Heaven's Ward theme. Okay, so I'm not sure where we are. We seem to have been transported to a different world. Okay, look at the map. I can see over there is the Raktika Greatwood, and over there is the Crystarium. Because that's where he told me to go, I'm going to go there first. Look up into the sky. That is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, and even the weather icon just says everlasting light and will not change.
Oh, neat. Okay, as people keep asking what race I am, I will just go ahead and reveal. There you go. I am a filthy hero. And because I don't like my character's derpy face, I'm going to put his helmet back on. See, I like this armor because it reminds me of Dark Knight Cecil from Final Fantasy IV. Don't you mean Hume? Final Fantasy XI. I'm Batman.
Right.
Oh. Man, I cannot sit cross-legged on the floor like I used to. It's Fran, but it's not. It's a Vieira.
Every face in this city I know. Yours I do not.
That's a very interesting accent.
Threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions.
What is your favorite color?
From where do you hail?
Isn't it obvious by how my armor looks you?
Technically both of those are correct. But I'm gonna say Limsa Liminsa. Yes.
Take me for a fool? No such place exists.
Yes it does. And yes, Fran is in this game, but not in this particular expansion. She was part of the Evilist raids from Stormblood. What game is this?
Had you given me
It's Battletoads.
I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass.
Oh. Amazing how that snuck up on us without making a noise.
That one indeed. Must have gulped down the whole hand. Ring and all.
Aww. I grew to like him in the 5 seconds I knew him. Those are nobodies.
Yeah, he's definitely the character with the shortest
Everything all right,
lifespan.
Captain?
Oh. That's for true. It's Organization 13.
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray
Oh
signature,
no.
and a weak one at that.
I see. Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more.
No, wait, the Asians are Organization
Well, so you
13.
met my guest. I will escort him to the Crystallion myself, if you've no objection.
See you later, Dark One Regana.
Another of your mysterious fronts, is it? I should have known. Very well. I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city.
I've actually just noticed that this Vieira's accent is actually somewhat similar to Fran, so they're sort of trying to... I don't know, I think they're trying to tie that in there. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. You know, to say Vieira have a certain accent.
Pray forgive my less than cordial
They
welcome.
do.
May the rest of your stay with us be a
But
pleasant.
she's actually in the Shadowbringers trailer, you know.
Come with me. I will answer
Captain
whatever
of the
questions you
She's
have.
actually in
Yes,
the
I'm going to
Shadowbringers trailer. Or opening movie.
Right. Before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons.
So people are saying the game's a bit quiet, so when this cutscene's over, I think I'll have a play with the volume.
I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you were still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief. And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 First, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions.
Shadowbringers is the worst expansion ever. Hashtag this is not our fight. Hashtag first world problems. Hashtag not my expansion. I know you're trolling, but hashtag first world problems is actually quite a funny pun.
That is pretty clever.
Are the other Scions here? Do you have any idea how much trouble you've caused? I'm gonna go with that one because, yeah, he did cause a lot of problems doing this bullshit.
I mean, he knocked us out mid-battle. We could have died.
Yeah.
Matters here forced my hand, but all shall be explained in due course, I promise you.
I'm still not sure how I got out, how the character canonically got out of that fight without, you know, getting killed. I mean, that was Xenos.
I think someone else swooped in and just grabbed us and ran off.
Ah, convenient.
I think Estinian did it.
Here in the first, the world
If I
has been
remember the scene
consumed
right.
by primordial light. It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost.
Damn.
And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity.
Sin Eater, as you say. Need to send a few of those to Spira.
It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes.
Oh, you flatterer, you.
Though it meant depriving the world of its champion, I had to try. For in saving the first, it would bring salvation to the source as well. But what manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
Can't wait for the next Outcast video. Yeah, the Outcasts are kind of a bit of a controversial topic at the moment. Yay, Final Fantasy XII nut. What the fuck? Yeah, yeah, this is not Final Fantasy XII in a nutshell. I don't know why you think it would be.
Maybe because those are the only videos we post.
Yeah.
It would have been FF12, your production budget would have been... I don't know how high.
Yes, my CGI budget is enhanced greatly. Ignore the fact it plays like a video game.
I wouldn't mind creating a video game point. Oh, you've arrived. I see.
I don't.
Nice place.
I like this hub. I don't know why.
That music is very nice.
Vibrant city. The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion. Each stone was laid with hope. The town itself a symbol. A monument to defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn?
Hey, look, it's the Amalta.
Hi.
Hello. So, I've arrived in the Crystarium, and here is my Final Fantasy XIV in a nutshell writing partner, in-game with me. So, I'm going to explore this a little bit before I move on to the next
Aephorite.
quest. Aephorite.
Aephorite.
Yeah, Aephorite. Dead ahead.
Oh wait, can you... I don't think you... Oh yeah. Technically, you can't.
Oh, it's not letting me.
Yeah, you
Oh,
have to,
you have
you
to-
have to follow his instructions first.
Ah.
Oh, I forgot. Because it's first the expansion quest, you have to talk with him, and then he tells you to attune to the Aephorite, and then you do it for main quest, so that the main quest can make absolutely 1000% sure that you attune to the Aephorite. Because it's very important.
Lame.
It's not like Gilmore.
Oh, here we go.
Oh god. Don't get me started on that place. I was so mad.
And here we are. Welcome, my friend, to the Crystarium. Yay! I leveled up. The Crystal Exarch has a request for you. Now, a full and frank discussion in the privacy of my study would seem to be in order. but I think our conversation would be more meaningful were you first to gain a firmer grasp of the situation here. To that end, I would like you to visit a few of the Crystarium's civic leaders and glean something of this world and its predicament. Hi, Ben. Ben is also a part of the Rabtoons team. He does voices, art, and more. And he's also a moderator of this chat, so do behave yourselves. As you can see, this path will take you directly to the Aetheryte, a convenience with which I am sure you are only too familiar. Boy, am I. Being the rightful object of my summoning spell, you should in theory be able to reach all the way back along your etheric trail and find a connection in the source, believe it or not. I strongly suggest you complete this attunement before venturing any further. Well, I was trying to do that, but apparently I had to go talk to you to go do it first. Dick.
Nice. He's he's trying his best.
Well, his best isn't good enough. After you have done so, walk up the steps next to the Aetheryte and head out to the left to arrive in the crystalline mean. This is where you'll find our collective of crafters and gatherers, as well as their spokeswoman, Catliss, one of the people I should like you to meet. Well, I don't do crafting, so ignore. Life's too short to do crafting.
Not true.
Meanwhile, I have all crafters on 70 and I'm currently leveling gatherers as we speak.
You nerd. I kid.
See, that's what I'm planning on doing for this expansion. Last expansion,
Our food gotta come
I
from
basically
somewhere.
focused on getting all my battle classes up to 70. This expansion, I'm getting them all up to 80, and then I'm working on crafters and gatherers.
You know, funny thing is, for me this is in reverse. Last expansion I tagged all my gatherers and crafters to 70, and now I'm getting all the combat classes up there.
In seeking out each of my colleagues, you will first visit the major districts of the city and hopefully gain a feel for the place. I trust my directions were simple enough. Crystal clear. Yeah, crystal clear.
Also, even though it means you should be able to do certain things already, they're locked behind the later story quest.
Ha, very good, I concede. The layout of the Crystarium owes more to historic necessity than planning, but I'm sure you'll learn its twists and turns before long.
Have you seen Limsa?
Yeah. In all honesty, the true challenge may be in finding the right way to approach its citizens. Hello, real Dawnseeker. And yes, the story is amazing, Furional. That being the case, when they ask whence you hail, as they inevitably will, I suggest you claim to share a homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deeply into that particular mystery. Was Final Fantasy 1.0. 1.0 was a massive dumpster fire from what I've read. I've never played it myself. My colleagues might be able to tell you more. I don't know. Have you two ever? Did you ever play the original?
I never played it. I just have seen good videos on it.
I know the general story.
Like, I have heard things, like there's a series on YouTube, the Fall and Rise of FF14, which is really good watch, by the way. And over that I heard a lot about 1.0 and how, for example, flower pots were just as resource intensive as players were.
Yeah, I heard they put like more rendering power into potted plants than they did certain characters.
The potted plants had as much rendering power as a player model.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Ulda was a nightmare because of it.
Okay, so we're exploring the crystal... whatever this place is called.
Crystarium.
That's the one. I'm gonna tune to these Ethernet shards. Raz, seen Indiana Jones. I've seen the first one, and that's it.
But there are some things in here that you think you could already do, but can't and have to wait for it. Like, if you look on the map, you see a clan hunting board, but you can't access it yet.
Ah! I did not expect to be able to jump down here.
If the railing is small enough, you can jump down. 14 never really stopped you about it either.
Do you not find it inspiring that of all the plants and trees here survived the flood of light, mayhap you would be interested in joining our study group? No, I would not.
Fuck off, you're not a main quest NPC and he's not a botanist. And that isn't even the botanist NPC, but besides sounding like it.
This is the Whispering Galley. As you can plainly see, we are in the midst of an important discussion. Pray keep your voice to a whisper. Well, fuck you too then.
Oh, and if you're wondering about your class quests, don't. We will get to that.
Yeah, the end of the story quest, isn't it? End of the main story, isn't it?
Actually, no. What it is that at some point you unlock warrior quests, and you have to beat one of them in order to finish the main story, according to what the game tells me. And after you finish the main story and your respective warrior quest, then you get the class quest.
Ah, right.
But it's just one class quest, not 5.
Nuts board.
Yeah, that's your new hunting board once it becomes available.
Let's
But
see.
it isn't available yet, even though it should be.
I can see where the retainer bell is, but I can't seem to get to it.
It's on the upper floor.
Upper floor.
It's where the crystal yeah, it's where the mine is.
Suppose I better attune to the Aetheryte as well while I'm here. Is there a single player campaign for Final Fantasy XIV? Not technically, but what I found with this game is you can sort of play it on your own. You definitely need to be online to play it, but you don't have to play with other people. You can be antisocial, because what the game does is you can use something called a duty finder to do the story dungeons and trials. You don't have to make friends with people, but it does enhance the experience if you do.
Yep. And with Shadowbringer dungeons specifically, they introduced a new system where you can just take NPCs with you into said dungeons.
Yeah, so
Which
even
a lot
more.
of DPS celebrate heavily because DPS queues kinda are bad.
Yes. The bell does not seem to be functioning. Oh, you're joking, right?
MSQ progress, ignored for now. There will be a really early MSQ which unlocks basically all the features that you think you should have, like retainers, market board, etc. And until that happens, you can't use any of them.
Ah, that sucks.
But this one happens really early. I think before you leave this city, you have them. So don't worry about it.
It's just I know I sent some retainers on a quest yesterday, so they should be done by now. And I just hate leaving them, you know, uncompleted without sending them on another one for too long. I'm kind of like OCD about that.
You can use quick travel again and just go to a city state and do it.
I'll wait. Yes, I did know that. I'm very interested to see how they're going to do a Final Fantasy XIV TV series, especially in live action, because I mean, how are they going to do? Yeah, they're making a Final Fantasy XIV TV series.
It's not gonna be
I did not know that.
I think it's about adventures on the side. I think.
Still, it's going to be interesting to see how they do Lalafell and Rogue Garden.
Oh God. I did not even know they are doing that. That will be something. I really hope it releases in English so I can actually watch it.
Yeah, so most normal people would take the stairs, but I always jump down if I can and break my legs.
I mean, we have once more equipped at all times, so... What's the chicken chance? Oh, let's mix these up.
New to the city, friend. Spinning head and wide eyes give you away. Welcome. My name is Braggy and I'm the master of these markets. They gave the district another official title, but I'm not in the habit of using it. Too florid by half. In any case, our merchants stock a range of equipment for humans, such as... Hey, that's Final Fantasy XI, we're here. Such as yourself. So finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem. Oh look, I can point out. I'm sorry, did you say humes? So I'm going to say that, because, you know, that's the Final Fantasy XI term for humans. Aye, something wrong? Ah, he avoided the question. Let's see if we can straighten this out. See those two in front of us? The shorter one is Hume, like you. And the taller one is an elf. Oh, it's because they have different names for us.
Yep.
See, if they were going to do that, I would have had them call him an elven, like from Final Fantasy XI. I mean, they might as well, because they just said Hume. Is a gold gem. And again, I would have said that was what they called. I forget what the big ones are called in Final Fantasy XI. You don't get much further flung than that. We've had a few of your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they floundered over the simple things. Ah, that must be the other scions. But not to worry, should you find yourself confused by the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions. Your exchange with Braggy has taught you about the peoples of the First. Cool. I didn't point them out earlier, but I'm sure you'll spot a Mistel or another Ronso like me sooner rather than later. Hey, Ronso! Even these, like Captain Lena, aren't that unusual in the city. Aye, the
is Kimari here?
Aye, the Crystarium's long been sanctuary for all manner of refugees, except maybe the dwarves. Those lot prefer to keep themselves to themselves, in my experience. So I like that he called the Hrothgar Ronso, because, you know, they pretty much are Ronso, without the horns. Where to next? Over here.
Scholar, eh? I'm actually leveling a scholar currently.
Please don't spam gay in the chat. Like Gaming Adventures with Charlie said spam gay in the chat and I told him not to. Not cool. I love how every single stream I do gets some sort of heated debate about which Final Fantasy is the best and which one's the worst.
Well,
At least they're starting early.
It's a hazard.
Yeah. Comes with the territory. Don't think I want to come over here.
Actually, I think you do, because I don't think you talked with the crafting person yet, and they are up here.
Aha. Catless.
Honestly, I like the facets, but that's because I can level incredibly fast with them.
Rare to see a
This
place
gets its own.
so stocked with goods, isn't it? But not here. I'm going to guess you're not... Sorry, I'm going to guess you're new to our fair city? Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen a fine sanctuary. The Exarch can throw up a barrier if the Sin Eaters come knocking, so it's a damn sight safer than in here than it is out there. Safer and more civilized too, thanks to us in the mean. We work together to procure materials and resources and craft the goods which make city life possible. This is the place to visit if you need a coat mended or a kettle forged. Can't say I need any of that. Just don't go thinking it's all be handed to you on a plate like those Ilmorian layabouts. Here in the Crystarium, we work for a living. Though I see you're no stranger to honest labour, you don't have that whiff of indolence about you like some folk I've met. Still, I can't quite pin down your profession. Where is it you're from? One of the Exarch's countrymen, you say? I see. Well then, I'll work twice as hard to make you feel welcome. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him, and any friend of his is a friend of ours. It's really quite incredible when you think about it. They say his grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence, pulled the entire thing out of thin air. Yes, that is interesting. It wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around its base, desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. And that's how the Crystarium began. At the Exarch's invitation, buildings started going up, and with the help of some curious relics brought forth from the tower, the place gradually expanded into the thriving metropolis you see today. The city's stood here for decades now, yet the eldest among us swear the Exarch looks exactly like the same as he did back then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries, but for all his secrecy he has never yet let us down. So if he and you wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then the folk here will respect your wish for privacy. Hello, person who said Kurosawa. I did see your name pop up for a second there. I am, however, more than a little curious to see any crafting talent you might be hiding. No. If you've aught to contribute on that front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had a chance to settle in. Just ask for Catless and I'll find you a niche here in the crystalline mean. You can help us keep the cogs of the city greased and turning. No. I don't think I'll be talking to her again. No, I really am not.
Honestly, I was just the happiest seeing that Fisher has its own facet, because Fisher is going to level, and giving Fisher a dump truck of EXP was really helpful, leveling it to 80. And because of how weird I play, Fisher's my first class on 80.
I don't think I even have any crafters or gatherers leveled up to 50. Wow, this place is huge.
It seems huge, but with Sprint being usable, it's not really. Especially when you consider... Yeah. Especially when you also consider the fact that half of the city is just here for story reasons, and you will not constantly be going to the places.
Ah.
Like, that is the good thing. Crafters are at the mean, the shops are at the other thing, and the walking distance is less than 30 seconds.
You'll find yourself having companions quite often, so...
Yeah, basically after every area you come here.
I'm missing an Ethernet shard somewhere.
Actually, I can maybe help you with that.
Let me...
Within the library.
Oh, right, it's the curiosity place. It's from the main plaza, just under where the mean is. Yeah, right. I keep forgetting that you are in his world and can just show him.
Yeah.
It's very handy.
It's a hazard. Plus the fact that I also have the regalia doesn't help either when people just ask me to go for them.
Oh, you mean the mentor thing?
Yeah, the 4-man vehicle. Of course, I
Oh,
also
right.
have the wedding chocobos. I also have the wedding chocobos, so I can also...
You have so many mounts that can just
Oh,
carry
no,
people.
Good one.
I only had once someone carry me during Shadowbringers, because I thought they had to go to one area and ended up having to go to another. And I wanted to get there early because leveling of gatherers.
Final Fantasy IV isn't overrated. It's one of the best ones.
It really is. Now, if you want to talk about an overrated one, well, I'm not
7.
gonna bring that up, but yeah.
You ran past the Aetheryte shard.
Yeah, I just realised that. Still missing one apparently. Let's see, I've got the Crystarium, Aetheryte Plaza, Musica Universalis Markets, Temenos Rookery, Dependence, and the Crystalline Mean.
Bring up my menu just to double check. 'Cause I think I know it. Yeah, you're missing the Emerald one. Do you have the Dossal Gate?
Dossel No.
Temenos Rookery?
I've got the Rookery.
Then you're just missing the lock.
Okay, that's over this way somewhere. Oh, hang on.
But go ahead and talk to the guy at the top of the stairs. So you can get out of there.
So just asking the chat sec, is the game still quiet for you? Like, I know you can hear me, but can you hear the game like quite well? Because problem is, because I'm on my headphones, the game's quite loud, and I don't want to sort of talk too loud because of that.
I think it sounds fine.
Excuse me,
I just listen
sir.
in the stream and I can definitely hear it.
Hit what, like the gameplay, like music and sound effects. Excuse me, sir, are you recently come to the city perchance? I'm quite familiar with our civic roles, you see, and, well, a rumpled scroll even? A scrap of scribbled on a parchment? My apologies, literature is something of an obsession of mine, as well as a profession. The librarian Moran at your service, and this humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers of perception have likely informed you, my colleagues and I are responsible for curating all manners of tomes, documents and other vehicles for the written word. As horrific as the loss of life at land wrought by the flood unquestionably was, the damage to the recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. We few do all we can to preserve what wisdom survived. But tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any title in particular? Mayhap a spot of academic research. I'm just reading these text boxes in like a really ridiculous accent like they do in the voice cutscenes. Oh ho, so you've interest in modern history. Splendid. A thorough review of recent events can often yield novel perspectives. I quite agree. I'm mainly basing it on Alphino. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, then I think I have an illustrated history book for the children somewhere. Just a moment, and I'll fetch it for you.
You know, when I played this, I thought he was inciting me because I play a lullaby and suggesting this.
And here we are. Would you like to pull up a chair, make yourself more comfortable? On with the lesson then. Oh look, he looks so excited.
Of course he is.
Ooh, storybook. 100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warriors of Light, slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of this tainted deed, light began to pour into the world as if from unseen cracks. It pooled and swelled without cease, until the day an enormous blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We called this calamity the Flood of Light. Everything it touched was leached of life and vigour, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Maybe I should just do Alphino. I mean, I think I sound enough like the English voice actor. Yet, just when it seemed that all would be lost, a saviour appeared before us. The Oracle of Light. She stood twixt us and approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Northront, and Northront alone, spared the fate of Eurasia. Alphino still open, boss. Yep, still open as of... It'll be open for another month. Tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspect to bedevil the few folk who survived. Can you sound slightly more posh? I'll try. These Sin-Eaters were light incarnate, and their fulgent presence stole the night from Northrant's sky. Even now they circle the remaining bastions of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. and thus did the world become what it is. Should you ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it for you. Or if you would rather I speak of other matters, that too would be my pleasure. I should be glad of the company. Yay. Well, I pretty much know everything about the first shard now. Call me an expert.
Oh, definitely.
Light bad, good. Light bad, dark good.
It's not quite as simple as that. More like
You need to go higher. That Etherite shard, I think it's on the highest level again. Or on normal level, I forgot where. Oh, finally, I got it.
Oh wow. Just taking in the sights. Let me try and get in the first person view.
This game has a first person view?
Yeah.
R3.
I keep forgetting that it does.
And then press L1 in the touchpad.
What is it in PC?
Oh cool. I can turn the Did not know that. Cool. That looks a lot better.
Never knew
It's the
that.
best way to get screenshots.
Oh yeah, definitely. Basically any decent screenshot you see of that game has no HUD. And
Yes.
if it has a HUD, then the HUD is the point.
That will be very handy when I'm trying to get backgrounds for Final Fantasy XIV in a nutshell.
We are still missing something.
Missing the docile gate. That's... Where is that?
Let me also check my info right.
Oh no, I'm missing the Amaro launch.
It's up here by the treasure box building. Take the left staircase and head out towards the history main and then go past it.
Oh right, I forgot. Why do I keep forgetting that this is the worst thing I could be doing?
It's right above the crystal main. There's actually a staircase.
For anybody that is watching and has started Shadowbringers, one advice: do not do collectibles on your crafters or gatherers until late in the story.
Found it. You have attuned yourself to all the Ethernet shards in the Crystarium. Lakeland is now accessible as an Ethernet destination.
Congratulations.
Yay! Cheese, cheese, cheese.
Now you need to create ether right.
Oh no, I did that. So Chocobo... Ugh. Chocobos are called Amaros in this world. I don't know.
Not just called. Yeah, it's a different species, but functionally it's an equivalent.
They are
It's
ugly
the
as fuck.
Falcons it's like the Falcons in Stormblood.
Basically. Just don't worry about it, you will basically never use them anyway.
They kind of look like what the Chocobos were originally going to look like in Final Fantasy II.
Wait, what?
Raz, could you do an impression of Arden? Try. The boats come here, but they will not take you out. I am a man of no consequence. Thank you. And without further ado, back onto the story. So this may be a cutscene, I don't know. Okay, so I'm giving him 3 items from my inventory. I guess I wrote down what I learned on a piece of paper. Yes, it seems you were treated to a most thorough introduction. I understand it was something of a chore, but 'twas necessary that you grasp these things before we proceed. As for the Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noted that the details were sparse. The structure is in fact the selfsame one you know from the source, transported to the first in its entirety. It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds, something of a trial run for your eventual crossing, and although I do not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set the wheels of fate in motion. The Crystal Exarch is finally ready to discuss the matter of your comrades' whereabouts. Cool, so we're going to finally find out what happened to Alphino, Alice, Urianja, Yishtola, I think that's everyone. Thancred. I always forget Thancred.
Don't worry, Thancred is one of those characters that exists and shows up rarer than the others, but when he does, he shows up a bit.
Yeah, I really liked Thancred in A Realm Reborn, then he just kind of disappeared from the story after Heavensward. You've done as Roy requested, and learned something of the world in which you find yourself. Now it's time I fulfilled my half of the bargain, and explained what has befallen of your comrades. That is a conversation I would rather have in the privacy of my quarters. However, I must go ahead onto the tower and organise a few things, but I shall see that the guard knows to admit you. What will I say? The tower's gate lies open then? Just like that then? Grahatia it is. What? Hey, that's the guy from the Crystal Raid quest line. Did I just figure out a major plot twist?
What?
I am not familiar with that name. Oh, maybe not then. Is there something I should know? An extraordinary tale, but I'm afraid I found no such individual residing in the tower when it passed. Into my care, mayhap, we can revisit that mystery another time. For now, I think it's best that we focus on the present. Yeah, I thought he was implying that he was that guy from the Crystal Raid quest line, but I guess I was wrong.
Did you actually finish the Crystal Tower raid?
Yes. These guards kind of look like a combination of the Ishgard guards and all the other city-states like rolled into one. That is a cool outfit, I wish I could have that.
Greetings, sir. The Exarch waits you within. Don't make fun of my voice, I'm just a Crystarian gatekeep. Bye!
Can't have everyone sounding like a posh twat. Thancred became such a stick in the mud after Heaven's Ward. He did. He so did.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard. I have much to explain. But the truths which I must touch upon in doing so will cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep it. Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow citizens. To put it simply, we are hearing first. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the source.
Oh no.
In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year will pass their furthest, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates when the prime moons
That's not good.
That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence, and thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time.
Oh, that's convenient.
As for your companions, however, Lustola and Oriange have dwelt here for 3 winters, you're told, while Thancred's camp stands in 5.
Ouch.
Holy shit, gather leveling is so easy.
Lived in the first for almost a year. My intention had been to summon you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were the object of my summons, the transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess good qualities, they are, in truth, only spirits that one can see and touch.
So I love how the game just casually dropped a naked Thancred right there.
Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves
I
me,
mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
they are strange.
No.
And honestly, my eyes are blessed.
What will I say? They then find a way to send them back. What have they been doing all this time? I think I'll be a dick and tell them to send them back.
I'm happy that we can be a dick.
Yeah.
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the cycle. In the beginning,
Well, at least he tried.
as you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavour once Oriange shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey to the rift. In that chaotic no man's land between realms, time and space war and blend in unexpected ways. What Oriange saw was the future, that which would one day come to pass. In his vision of tomorrow, the first was rejoining with the source. This collision of worlds brought about the 8th onward calamity, with dates of countless multitudes. Amongst those who perished, Oriange clearly saw the fall of the Slayer's mightiest child. He watched it go.
Oh shit.
And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe. Their souls are strengthened before their eyes. They fought, desperate to save their home and kingdom from destruction, nor have their efforts been in vain. As they have finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed so. Considering these circumstances, will you forgive my doubting knowledge of things? And so, before
No, I believe you.
I would suggest you track down your comrades and obtain from their names. I shall of course be happy to assist in these requirements. You need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home.
I think I have to get a water bottle and start spraying people in the chat.
What say you?
I suppose, you know. I know, right? That's why I said I'm gonna have to get a water bottle and start spraying people. What will you say? For the moment, but I'll see that you keep that promise. For want of a better choice, I will say for want of a better choice.
Quick reminder to the chat. Alize and Alfino are both minors.
Yeah.
Please remember this.
Quick question, how would that now work out for the time shenanigans of them having been in the first for, what was it, a year or two?
They were only there for a year.
Yeah, I forgot their age, honestly.
I think they were like years. You may not want to say about the time in Stormblood.
Oh wow.
Either way, they're still minors.
Also, their bodies.
No matter what country they're in.
Also, their bodies back in the real world haven't aged, so you know they would still have minor bodies even if they did stay on the source for 5 years.
True. The number of years may have passed, but their age has not grown past the number of days they're in the source. So remember, they are all minors. Well, between the
You know, I keep forgetting that because I don't know, they just don't look the part.
Yeah, they do. They look like children.
Maybe I have just weird perception.
Okay, someone in the chat said, could I make the in-game voices louder? I will try. Sister.
And yeah, with alright.
Might just have to turn up the map volume.
I'll turn that to 70, see how that plays out.
Yeah. Well, I will have to go for now because it's like 2 AM and I'm getting tired.
Ah, okay.
It sounds fine.
So I just wish you a lot of fun with the rest of Shadowbringers that you play today.
Yeah.
And when you get 2 main quests, don't worry, you have to do both of them.
Oh, just like Stormblood.
Yeah, but this time it's like 2 quest lines rather than 5 quests in the same area. That happens later too, but that's a different story.
So
Anyway.
the number to remember each Scion number in the first is 310. I believe it's Dola 5, Tancred, I think it's 8, and then twins were only there for a year.
This is the musical
Within like
universe, the commercial hub for stereo. What you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here. Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not.
Oh.
Will you carry
Oh,
this
no.
What?
It's either the best character in
Each
the
nation
game
once
or
makes
the
its own
worst.
choice, which was all a jumbled mess for
It's
the
up you to decide
After
that.
much debate, the local merchants eventually elected
I shall decide their fate.
wherein the coin's value was decided by the worth of its metal. As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term guild, a word borrowed from coins uncovered within the crystal tap here. As our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of guild become commonplace. From what your stone tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough utility. Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower, some of which may be familiar to you.
Toadstones.
provide everything to which you are accustomed. You shall need a means to access the commodities of your home. Avan Kerm Sin?
I just realized this isn't the first time ever dealing with chromosomes of a boy.
My dear Fail Paragon Pixie Gun.
Hello, Nobu.
I have the most vital task. This fine gentleman is a friend from a distant realm, and we have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from his home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift? How wonderfully exciting! What a brave and reckless and marvellous thing you did! You've the heart of a pixie, you do.
Yeah, that's definitely a Scottish accent, not a Welsh accent.
After careful consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin. But answer me this, traveller. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth, your nails? Just as I thought. Then you've a good stout connection with your home, through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass. From this moment forth, I will be your Isnaethis, and you my Snayak. Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other. Praise your
Do it then. It knows too much. Kill it.
As long as it doesn't start saying, hey, listen, I'm fine.
Tis done. We are bound now.
Watch
to your
out.
sapling. Come then, make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
You may have her message to your friends in the source to inform them of your safe arrival.
Ooh, that's a hard decision. Send a message to Tataru or send a message to Cryle. I'm gonna say Cryle because I actually don't like Tataru.
Consider it done.
She kind of annoys me. She's like really money hungry and, you know,
As you heard,
that's the main
Not
problem.
money hungry. She's their
their kind
secretary.
possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings. They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Fail is
Her whole
insatiable.
entire job is to make some money.
Seems to have taken a liking to the mystery.
And the only reason why she ended up becoming money hungry with the four lords is because of Alphino and his stupid samurai sword.
Right.
True, but still.
Come on.
Okay, so people are asking what the hell that noise is. It's actually my hamster, and I think it's trying to pull at the water bottle, and I keep trying to discourage it from doing it, but it just won't listen because, you know, as hamsters do. Not sure what I can do to stop it because I know that is quite annoying. Bear with me a moment, I'll see what I can do. Okay, I've moved the cage out of the way and tried to discourage it from doing whatever it's doing, so we'll see how that works going forward. Okay, so we now have access to our stuff back home, so what I'm going to do is go find the retainer bell and just sort out some stuff. Raz, what's the cast of 13 to 15? Go check out our casting call page. That will give you all you need to know. I can't really provide a link to it at the moment because I'm playing this game, obviously, but just remind me and I will post it at some point. Hug Tataru and say you're sorry. No. Oh, Lalafella scum. We will do all the expansions, don't worry.
Plus some extra stuff.
That too. Ooh, Shadowbringers, an orchestrion role.
Yep, now you can listen to it without listening to my music video.
I love how if you jump around in this game, enough people will start copying you.
Social psychology.
Yes. Raz, can you do an Austin Powers impression, even if you've never seen the films? Groovy, baby! Yeah!
Oh,
There's a reason I pawn off voice acting to other people these days.
I mean, you did Arden pretty well. You sound just like the Crystal X song, so... Actually, you should do the Crystal X voice for Shadowbringers.
Maybe I should, yeah.
Good idea. Considering how close you are, probably Arden too, if you get the chance.
It's like I'm actually with Mr. Powers, lol. The price of a house in-game is huge. It's about 1 million gil, isn't it?
Oh, way over.
Way over.
Like, 6, 5,
Ouch.
something like that. Yeah.
That was me.
That's why crafters are usually the only ones who get houses, anyways.
That was me thinking, oh, I got 3 million gil, I could probably buy a house. Nope.
That'll probably only happen if you start crafting or something.
I mean, this 3 million gil is burning a hole in my pocket.
What?
I have on my character I have 3 million gil. It's kind of burning a hole in my pocket because I don't ever really spend it.
You should definitely get you some good coin.
Yeah.
At least a good weapon.
I know you. You're the warrior of light from the source.
Fun fact: this is Gendry from Game of Thrones doing this voice. Oh, he's got blood on his axe.
I never really finished Game of Thrones.
Oh, don't get me started on Game of Thrones.
I got halfway through Game 2 and then I picked up somewhere along the way. And I just never picked it back up.
The Warrior of Darkness is what I say to that.
You can hear me? God, how long has it been?
Oh, bless him. He hasn't been able to talk. He hasn't been able to talk or see anyone for however long he's been like this.
That was what I called myself in your world. The Warrior of Darkness. My real name is Ardbett. I use an alias in the source. A daft one, looking back.
That was kind of silly using an alias in our worlds, considering, you know, we don't know who he is.
It made sense.
We thought our home doomed,
I don't think
and so we listened to the Ascians. Let them guide us to the source, and try to hasten their God's damned ardor. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Nymphilia, how she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the first. The flood was poised to swallow Northrend, Nymphilia and my friends. They surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness. Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
Not a clue, mate.
100 years. 100 long years.
Oh, that's a long time.
My hands finally purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear. I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift. I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges.
I don't think it means he's thirsty, I think it just means he can't touch anything.
Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me?
Well, he had to sacrifice his body.
What are you even doing here, come to that?
Yeah, that backfired on him a little bit.
No, it wasn't a backfire. It was the cost. It was just the cost.
You were summoned to save the first. A waste of time. This world is beyond
And honestly,
saving.
that just kind
Like
of
those who try to save it.
that just speaks
Muddled at my
more
mind,
to
maybe I've not
his
forgotten
character and what he's willing to give up to save his own world. He basically left.
fate has brought me to you. The one person in this god's-forsaken world who can see and hear me. Then perhaps there is a reason I endure. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end. Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light.
I was wondering why it's only him and not the rest of his friends with us.
This world has had its fill of heroes.
Oh, trust me, what happened to his friends was a lot worse.
Will we get to find out later?
Yeah, there's technically two things that happened to them. One we'll find out about sooner.
I love how I slept in my full armor. Yeah, that's pretty much how I get up in the morning, just roll out bed and walk out the door. Hello. Very flashy. Master Rab, the Exarch awaits you within. Your friend there is very flashy. Man, I love this room. If I could design a room in my house to be like this, that'd be amazing. Slept great until a ghost came into my room and gave me the spooks. This guy is like the most polite landlord ever. Mag.
To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of RAB-Live. Your stolen station there in the heart of the forest.
I think I know where this is going.
The location can be reached without considerable effort.
Hey Rab, I wanted to let you know that thank you for getting me into Final Fantasy IX. Your videos are amazing, and thank you for Ninja Gaming. Okay, I don't know what you said there, but yeah, thanks for the compliment.
As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short
Nickname.
flight from the Crysterium.
Ah.
Alphino is on Calusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yule, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness. For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information on the new settlement. Alize, meanwhile, travelled south to the arid wastes of Armoraine. They lie upon the very edge
You'll
of
find
the
that some of the countries are actually, or not countries, but the land masses and the regions are pretty similar to the sources as well.
Interesting.
Glaciers in Monosius Place, and you can tell by some of the creatures there.
Thus, she sells her services as a guard.
Amarang is a very good place to be found, of course, because it's in treasure.
Okay, so it looks like we might have a choice of where we get to go first. Oh no, choice of two.
It matters not which you choose to visit first. Simply inform me once you've made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable book. Ah, but you must be wondering about Thane. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of celebrities. Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross again.
Sure, go. Ask as many random questions as you want, and I'll try and answer them as best I can. Okay, so we've got a choice of two places to go. Any recommendations, Striker?
So, if you want to make the first dungeon more impactful, I suggest doing Amarang last.
Amarang last.
Especially if you want some of the more hard storyline to
Okay.
personally, I would suggest Kalusia first, actually.
Kalusia. Kalusia it is. So Kalusia, is that Alphino or Alize?
Alphino.
Okay, so we're off to find Alphino. The Crystal Exarch is eager for you to meet with Alphino. You will visit Alphino in Kalusia then. Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you will need a mount capable of making the journey. Here is a letter of introduction, presented to Sem Denji, the Master of Beasts at Temenos Rookery, and he will take care of you. When you see Alphino, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Any advice for Final Fantasy VIII? I'm getting the game for Switch when it's released. Tell you what, you know you want to speak to regarding that, you want to speak to Crafty Matt, or Matt Raftis, however he likes to go. He is the... well, he's the most knowledgeable person on Final Fantasy VIII I know, so definitely get in touch with him. Cool, so I joined Striker's party. And now we're off on our... What's that noise? I said this before, but it is my hamster and I can't... There's not really a lot I can do about it, I'm afraid. Bring him in front of the camera. I don't have a camera for PS4, I'm afraid.
Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery?
Oh god. I was like wondering what is up with this.
Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an Amaro for passage to Coluja. I will pick you out a friendly whelp.
An Amaro, you say?
That's right. Mounts like my great friend over there are a common sight in those parts. But I gather you hail from further afield. This hurts my throat.
I'm gonna start talking normal. More accustomed to chocobos, perchance. I hear there are a few places where they ride little else. Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding Amaro, I think it's best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zun worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things, and meet me at the Amaro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you, while I ready the mounts. Yeah, doing that voice really hurt my throat, so I wasn't going to do that for a whole bunch of dialogue.
So you instead decided to go with an American accent?
Well, I can't have everyone sounding like, you know, a posh British person.
Yes. But an American accent for an emulsion? Oh my god.
Okay, so I need to go this way. No, Jesus, I have not seen Face Off, but I do know of the basic plot. I've gone the wrong way. Someone asking if I did the voice acting for Garland in Final Fantasy I in a nutshell. Nope, that was not me. That was a talented man known as ingenious clown who also voiced the Warrior of Light. So you voiced the hero and the villain of that particular nutshell. Alex Jenks, that's the name. I'm glad you remembered for me, Jesus. Cowless Pendragon sees you and buries his face in disbelief. Hey, that's mean.
You forgot about the weekend.
No, I've done it. Where am I? You want to fly in Amaro to Kalusia? Well, I suppose if Master Gemini is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mount shortly. Someone's targeting me.
The whistling breeze, mute. Pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
Kalusia. Bye-bye, Dandin. I don't know if you're saying goodbye, but if you're saying goodbye, goodbye. Just checking out the surroundings. Ooh, regalia. And I just got to talk to this dude. We are arrived. This is Cracked Shell Beach on the eastern coast of Kalusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin-Eater attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of. Ooh. Wonder what that means. Spy you that city in the distance? That is Yulmore, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in scale and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. For years, the Yulmorian elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with Yulmore is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. I am glad we understand each other. Now, the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. These Sorcerer Mouch are a lot easier on the eye. If you head south along the coast, you will eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives here, a man who goes by the name of Ebor. Ebor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Kalusia, and will be be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme, and that will let him know you can be trusted. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend. I will stay here with Amaro until you're ready to return. So here's Striker with his fancy regalia. For those of you who don't play Final Fantasy XIV, this is a mount you could get in an event a little while ago. And if I do this, I am now in the car. Whee! Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
Yeah, would not have been able... where are we going?
Hang on.
That's the only problem with doing this when it's just like post story now for me. That's the only part that's the problem.
Okay, it's... Yep, that in that direction. No. Oh yeah, better attune to this.
If you want to, you can link it on the map.
Rust down here a sec, I'll attune to this. And then I'll mark it on the map.
Pull up the map, press R1, L1 to link it, and then make sure it's in part of that.
If you could play as a Q, I would totally play this. Lol. Yummy, yummy frogs.
You want to grab the C-throw real quick?
Yeah.
Go ahead and hop out.
Rabbi on Primal. No, this is Adamantoise, which is on... which date? Ether. Get in, loser, we're killing Primal.
Oh, right.
Ebor. What you after? Fish? Crab? Think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere, if you've a taste for them. Nope, I've come to bring you thyme. Ooh, I do love a bit of thyme. Chuck some in the pan, and it's like a bloody festival of flavour. Now, what is it I can do for you? Can't say, as there's been many major upsets to report the past few weeks. Alphino, eh? Aye, I know the one. Our young champion of the downtrodden. Yulmore's richer than all Northrop put together, but it's a different story for them, as I live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. Aye, I can hazard a guess as to where he is now. Get a message to him, but you'll need somewhere quiet to meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide, that's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern, the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there, and I'll see what Alphino joins you. It was funny because the battle music was playing whilst I was doing that. Even though I wasn't doing anything. Right, pillion. Okay, so let me just... yeah, it's over here. It's like you knew where to go.
Well, because I do remember this part.
So, what are your initial thoughts, Rab? Living up to all the hype? Yeah, it's pretty good so far. It's already had quite a few revelations, like plot-wise, which have been quite intriguing. Seeing the Warrior of Darkness, or Ardbert as he's known now, was quite a shock. I mean, I knew we had to see him again at some point. Ooh, ale, mead or water? Since I don't drink beer, I'm gonna go with water. Remember to stay hydrated, people. While paying with money, of course. Awesome, we are on the same data center. Yeah, Ether represent. Okay, so we've just been given a quest. What did it? Search the field for vermin to exterminate. So that's over here somewhere.
Bye.
Yep, so just keep going this direction. And
But then again, it's only been like a month since I did this back before the game switched.
love the battle music. No, your fucking place trash.
You still get experience?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it's been since I'm level 8. I messed with that. I don't get it. Oh, you're alpha.
Yeah, it's my favourite little minion.
Well, since
Is that a vineyard you're in? No, I think it's just like a generic crop field. You hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The gnawed scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. That was very anticlimactic. Ah.
Good job, Rab.
He was in my way.
Oh boy, you were lucky for us.
Do 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 do. Oh yeah, cute little robot.
OMG.
Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Why, he wasn't there.
Probably dead.
Gone? Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Gate Town, if you outside Yulmore, you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And then I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house. Sweet! Ooh, those are some muddy textures on those bowls.
And how is business today, Mistress Feather?
Alphino!
Oh, frenetic.
Yes.
Look, I have a new customer.
He almost looks exactly the same. True, true.
The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alfie, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
That is a cool coat. I wouldn't mind having one like that myself in real life.
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Dome. And what's new? It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. The time has only added to the relief I feel at seeing you safe and well.
Me? I was more worried about you. We thought we'd lost you. I like Alphino, so I'm gonna say me. I was more worried about you.
Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before. I see. But the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire. Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Assassins,
we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped, but so long as there are wars to be waged, and thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin-Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Fuck yeah. I'm always ready for more adventure. Alfie for best boy. That's for true. That is a really cool coat. So what I really like about this expansion so far is they did a good job to make it feel like we haven't seen Alphino in ages. Like, both in terms of the fact that he hasn't seen us for a year, and I myself obviously haven't seen him for many, many quests now. And it actually does feel like I've been reunited with him after like a really long time, even though it hasn't really been that long. So that's something they've done quite well, I reckon. So here we have Stryker working on some blacksmithing.
Yep. Gotta eventually get to the person we need somehow. Alright. So,
Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I have you yet to set foot in Yulmore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come, from here we must head west, and then cross a small bridge. Onward! You have a very flat rate.
yeah, I get 0 from you. I'm not sure where to stop at.
Oh, actually, we're going in the wrong direction. Let me mark it on your map.
I always forget that there are always stops on the way to places. Is it raining for you, or is it just...
There you go.
Oh, that's not at all.
Yeah, I love Legos.
Drop you off at the... drop you off at the top of this thing. You sit and drop down.
Kalusha seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. I had a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people are much the same. Distant World is also the name of a Final Fantasy concert in the real world. You should check it out if it is in your area. To think that whenever a calamity struck in the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No! Get away from me! Over there! Quickly! Someone's in trouble! Hey jerk, don't park that airship in my shop, you dolt. Yeah, Blackjack, your audio quality is a lot better now. I mean, it is unfortunate that you can't go back and do Terror again.
Honestly, I'm considering just doing a playthrough from the beginning for a series of 14, so...
Do it. Ideally with new story what is it, Story Plus? New Game Plus?
I don't know. That, honestly, I have no idea what it is. Maybe many years.
My poor heart. Thank you, young sir. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you all right, madam? Just a few bruises from where I fell, nothing compared to what I was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Yulmore with the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now I'm sure a strapping lad like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. 'Tis as the lady says, many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Yulmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, have you been told of these monsters? A brief history then. It was not long after the flood swallowed the better part of the world that the Sin Eaters first appeared, some beastly, some beauteous. Yet regardless of their form, all seem incapable of speech, and all are driven by the same insatiable appetite for mortal ether. They are predators, and we are their prey. Kalusha suffers from far fewer attacks than most regions, but even so, the list of Sin Eaters' victims grows longer by the day, a tragedy without end. Still, we have won a small victory this time, at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west.
You just appeared on me.
would have been interesting.
It wouldn't have been bad if it was the ceremony took place. Alright, now I take it we're going to the town.
Yep, just keep going in this direction.
Yeah.
And you're about to hit the quest now.
That mine is out. You must have been one.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
I thought I recognised you. Brought a new friend, eh?
I love it when this game puts ridiculous accents like that in there.
I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
You slag!
He's not here to compete. Leave him be.
What? I was only making conversation.
What's his name on the way here? Do we lose Flutterdark at some point?
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please!
Yeah, he left a little while ago.
Oh.
So it was like 2 in the morning where he is.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, right. I went to the bathroom at that point. I totally forgot.
Greetings to our humble petitioners, one and all. Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy. Even on days when fish is not on the menu!
Sorry, that was cutscene audio there. Not much longer, because I have been sort of streaming for about 2.5 hours now, so I'll probably finish this quest and then call it a night.
Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another, we may not at all.
These two kind of remind me of the female version of Zorn and Thorn from Final Fantasy IX.
Yulmore was a centre of power and authority. Well, that is not the only reason for its fame.
A few people in the chat are saying the same thing as well.
Final pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the iron needle than Yulmore's gates.
Don't forget to go to a...
The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the will of one of the privileged.
Yeah.
And so they are picked over like market produce.
Fun fact, that's the Calcabrina theme from Final Fantasy IV playing in the background there.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in a city of splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor.
I mean, I know why they use it, 'cause it very much fits this jester theme they're doing.
Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly... Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate
Are those accents supposed to be bad? They're not that bad, they've just exaggerated it quite a lot.
For you. Enjoy.
They do overdo it with some of the accents sometimes, though.
Meal is a foodstuff which Millmore routinely doles out to the people of Gate Town, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity. Yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Oh, you are a master of wit, Goblin. Very funny. She knows something's up. That's a very realistic shanty town, like, you know, in a Final Fantasy game.
Reminds me of the stats from Ready Player One.
Okay.
Teleporting. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so let's go to a sanctuary and then I will finish off.
We won't be.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, if you're in a party, if somebody teleports, you can fall, you can piggyback on them for free.
Okay. Right, okay, so I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours now, guys. I think that's more than long enough. Got a decent chunk of this game done, so my impression so far is this expansion is very cool. I'm looking forward to playing some more very soon. I haven't done a game stream for a long time, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will get better at as I do more of these. I'm not particularly good at gaming streams. I'm more of an art stream man myself, but yeah, so thank you to Happy Striker for tagging along and helping me today. You can see him waving there. I do have a video of his to promote. I do have a video of his to promote on the channel very shortly, so do keep an eye out for that. He does some videos for Final Fantasy XIV in the meantime. But yeah, so I will see you all next time, and yeah, bye.
Bye.